a light in the sky at the same time. It will.
Hey Jane, Dallas passengers, last name said Brian, and Bettenhauer, please meet us up here, or please board the sign. Bettenhauer and Mr. Brian.
Please place small items on the seating first.
Next stop is North Richland Hills Iron Horse Station. La próxima parada es la estación de North Richland Hills Iron Horse.
Alright guys, I picked up the Corvette as you can see. I am somewhere near Dallas, Texas. Don't ask me where, don't know. That's where I am if that helps you out. Super nice guy, very meticulous about the car. He's got all the old parts in it, like all old brake rotors, everything like that. So yeah, this bad boy's running just fine. There is a slight like wheel bearing type noise coming from the front right corner, but he did mention that in the ad, so can't really fault him for that. But otherwise, I'm just trying to get out of the busy Dallas-Fort Worth area, and then once I'm out of here, you know, we'll kind of settle into the drive a little more. I'll grab some food, things like that. So everything is all good for now. Just gonna hop up this cruise control a little bit and cruise on out of here. Yeah, fingers crossed for an uneventful trip. We'll see how it goes. Driving the C6, she is feeling pretty darn good. Like I said, we're just gonna take it easy, have a nice calm trip. Hopefully be home about 2-3 in the morning if I don't stop for too much stuff. So we'll see how she does. I'll keep you guys posted. Alright, so between Texas and Oklahoma, there's construction everywhere. And this thing is just too dang wide. I feel too dang close to that wall. For real, for real. This bad boy too wide for this, man. My God, does this factory radio suck. I know this was like the base model radio, but dang, even back in 07, this thing would have sucked. I know this is like the same center console as the Pontiac Montana or whatever, but dang, those speakers are horrible. You just have a CD player, so you don't have any aux, Bluetooth, MP3, nothing. So I don't know if it's the radio reception, but dang, that sounds terrible. It sounds like there's like 2 cardboard speakers in the whole car. This thing is wild. I just saw a speed limit sign that said speed limit and then no tolerance. I've never seen that before, but it's a little spooky, so not gonna mess around too much over here. Still have not fueled up at all. This is how many miles it's done since the last fill up. The seller was nice enough to fill it up for me, so just cruise along. About 99 miles until Oklahoma City. So we'll see. I'll try to fill up probably before I get there because I hate stopping in big cities and things like that. So right now she's cruising along. There was a weird noise coming from what sounded like a pulley, but that has since gone away. Hopefully it does not return. Hopefully it was just from sitting or something. I don't know if it was a bearing that needed to be worn in or what, but she's quiet now, so let's keep moving. Man, what the heck kind of cruise control is this? So you push this button on the side to set it. If it's in the 0 position, it's completely off. And this is the position you can set it in. If you want to go faster, you toggle that. And if you want to slow down, you push that button. That's not intuitive at all. I don't know if I'm just bugging out or what, but I swear my last C6 did not have this much road noise. I don't know if it's these tires or if I got some suspension bushings and stuff that need to be sorted out, but this bad boy is loud. That's a ton of road noise, and this exhaust is a little more droney than I thought too, especially at lower RPMs. She's got a little drone to her, so this is the General Motors genuine Corvette performance parts or something line of exhaust. I heard it was made by Borla, I'm not sure, but it's branded as a General Motors genuine car accessory type exhaust, so it's got a nice rumble to it, especially when you get off throttle. It does a little pop, so definitely like that. But like I said, we were just cruising along and got all this stuff behind me. I'll keep you posted. Got a nice little road here in the middle of wherever we are, maybe Oklahoma, I don't know. Pretty darn cool. Alright, little update. Stopped to get some gas before Nebraska City, and I got a little Subway sandwich, which was definitely nasty, but it was there, it was convenient. What else can I say? Somewhere in Nebraska right now, or sorry, Oklahoma. Somewhere in Oklahoma right now, a little ways past Oklahoma City. Got some water, cruising along. Just got passed by some police department. Doing well. I'm having to like sit in the seat really weird because the rearmost portion of the seat doesn't feel as padded, and my butt is pretty bony, and it's starting to hurt already, and I still got about 12 hours to go, so it's gonna be rough. Definitely need to do another food stop and then maybe some caffeine, depending on how things go later. I usually don't drink caffeine, so I don't really have a tolerance for it, but we'll see what happens. If we gotta do what we gotta do, we'll make it work. So yeah, cruising along Oklahoma. See, this thing does not like the bumps, man. My other Corvette, it came with the magnetic ride, but I swapped out for Bilsteins because the magnetic ride was done for. So maybe in the future for this, because I think those Bilsteins rode a lot better for sure, but maybe we'll see. Alright, so I have my GPS set to avoid tolls because this trip was going to be like $11 or something in tolls, and also trying to pay those things is super annoying because, you know, I don't have whatever pass you need for each state. I did that before and I got fined like crazy, so it's just not worth it. So because I have the no toll selected, I'm just on some random country highways in Kansas now, so this is definitely going to slow things down, but I guess it's an easy cruise as long as I can find some fuel along the way, and hopefully eventually we'll rejoin something a little more highway-like, freeway-like, so keep you guys posted, but we're cruising along. Alrighty, it is getting cold and dark in the middle of nowhere in Kansas, again, off the freeways due to tolls. Cruising along, it should be to Kansas City in about an hour, maybe a little more, but might need to do a fuel stop before then. But this thing does great on gas, honestly. Much better cruising range than I thought, so like I said, just cruising around, nothing notable yet. There is a little driveline noise that's like rhythmic, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that's a wheel bearing or drive shaft. I don't know what's going on, but can't do too much about it today. So we're gonna hope she stays together, and hopefully we'll make it get back home in about 9 hours. God dang, this has been the longest day. I only got a few hours of sleep before my flight, and I've been up since 4 a.m. So fingers crossed we make it. All right, guys, I am still in Missouri. Unfortunately, it is 8:14. The roads are clear, but progress is slow. Not a damn thing going on, but getting through it. Probably do one more fuel stop soon, maybe a little snack, and then just try to burn out for the rest. I know once I get past Des Moines, Iowa, it's gonna be a little bad because it's gonna be like country roads and not a nice highway like this, so we'll see if I can stay awake. Alright, I'm freaking out a little bit. I'm somewhere in Iowa, and as you can see, they put salt on the roads. Now, it's too cold for me to wash the car when I get home, and it's gonna be way too late. Sorry, it's a yawn. But that's a shit ton of salt. And I definitely don't want that underneath the car, so I gotta figure out what to do, but that's gonna be a tomorrow problem. I hope it doesn't impact the car too much, but not really much I can do about it right now. At least it's not wet. Alright, well, finally made it to the home state. Just did my final fuel up for the trip, hopefully. Just a straight shot home, so fingers crossed everything else goes well. Alright, so it is a few days later, and even though I only hit a little bit of dry salt and the car looks fine underneath, since it's above freezing and some rain washed the salt off the roads today, decided to take the old girl in for a quick car wash. I'm gonna check the underside after I'm done here, and I might run it again, so we shall see how it goes. But she does not like the cold. It does not shift smooth when that trans is cold, barely above freezing. Yeah, lots of suspension creaks and stuff, so definitely not a cold weather vehicle. Who would have guessed, huh? Alrighty, so it is a nice, sunny, surprisingly, January day. And, you know, I was gonna wait till spring to do it and ready to roll by spring, so last week I decided to order some new shock absorbers. These bad boys, I don't know, they just do not ride well at all. I think, you know, being cheap factory shocks, even at 70,000 miles, being 20 years old, those bad boys are toast. And then, yep, ordered front and rear Bilsteins. The fronts have a crazy wear pattern on the inside here, so definitely some alignment or suspension issues going on. Everything looks fine over here, but we'll see. Like I said, we're gonna put those new shocks in once they arrive. And this is kind of my first time really seeing the underside of the car, but she looks pretty darn good from what I can see. So I'm just gonna poke around and I'll see if I find anything crazy. All right, well, it's another unusually warm January day, so we are working on a quick oil change here. I'm also gonna drain the transmission. The worst part about all this is the new parts haven't arrived yet, so I'm literally just trying to get rid of, you know, fluids and work on stuff like getting these shock mounting brackets off. Damn, I'm bleeding already. Shock mounting brackets off, and then when the new parts show up, I'll hopefully work on them a little more. But it is very warm today, but it's going to be very cold very soon, so timing is not great, but it is what it is. All right, and now we got the transmission fluid draining. Thank goodness I changed that, because that looks pretty darn dirty. All right, I know what you're thinking, right? Fiberglass car, lots of aluminum, lots of stuff. What's gonna rust on here? Well, I'll tell you what. So your upper shock mount here is just pieces of steel welded together, and the problem is there's a pocket back here. You can see my finger is about that deep in there, and there are 0 drain holes on that pocket. So you can already see where this is going. Just forms, you know, a little spot of corrosion. You can see I've got a tiny bit of surface rust here on these welds, but all the dirt and dust and debris will accumulate in there and trap water. That's what this is. I kind of pulled some out of my car, and they'll also rest here on these shock mounts. You can kind of see how dirty those are. So if you're doing shocks or whatever, definitely clean this area out, give it a nice clean, and then I'm also going to rust proof it a little bit. But yeah, this is no joke. You do not want your Corvette getting rusty because of this stuff. So Let's just see what we can see over here. This little bastard of a shock was so blown out, it kept blowing out the zip ties. Finally hit it with the vice grip and the wire. Finally came through, thank goodness. What is up, guys? A little bit of a warm day today, so working on the C6 just a little bit. I was sitting here looking at my front plate bracket, and unfortunately it looks like it's riveted into the car, but it is what it is. So let me give you a quick overview of what I've done since the last time I shot a video on the car. So I did look into removing this bad boy. It is riveted into the bumper, so there are going to be 3 holes if I do remove it. I do live in a 3-plate or 2-plate state anyway, so I guess she's on there for now until I do some more thinking. But did a little work to the C6 yesterday. Actually, one of my buddies happened to stop by. It is getting a little warmer, as you can see. He happened to stop by, so we were just kind of messing around, hanging out in the garage, whatever. Got both new air filters done. He did the cabin filter. We drained the coolant and filled up the coolant a little bit, but now unfortunately the coolant is overflowing, as you can see, and I put like half a jug in it maybe. So got to address that. Probably gonna have to start the car up. It is what it is. The battery was out of it. Put the battery and battery tray back in. Still need to hook up the battery. And then back here, my little spoiler here was actually delaminated. So I picked the new one up of Marketplace and got that bad boy on here. So that is looking pretty darn good. But let's continue the work. Also, because I was working on this, you know, right after I bought it, before the cold front really kicked in, I just kind of left the garage in a huge state of disarray because, like I said, I started working on it and then I never had time to clean up or button everything up. So I got to deal with this mess as well. All right, got her outside a little bit. We got the old LS2 running, just working on that coolant. So managed to get the first gallon in and on to the next. Old girl is running pretty dang smooth today, yes sir. All right, so a little while ago I pulled this thing out for a little bit, ran it outside. Finally got like 2 gallons of coolant in there. Seems pretty happy. Engine's running well. I'll check the oil in a minute, but I noticed my brake and clutch fluid are disgusting. So what I'm gonna do is, for the clutch, what I'm gonna do is just take a turkey baster and suck a bunch of it out, and then I will just pour in a little bit of this stuff. And I guess you can say it's like a modified version of the Ranger method, because you can do the Ranger method in one sitting. The Ranger method is where you just take the fluid out, put new fluid in, pump the clutch 1,000,000 times, and then take the fluid out, put new fluid in, and it should clear things up for you. Because GM made it impossible to bleed the clutch on these things. The bleeder is under the car basically, and you have to take the exhaust out and maybe loosen the torque tube. So not a good time, not really something I'm about to do right now. So we're just gonna do the old Ranger method. And then for the brakes, I have a brake flusher here. That's gonna have to be another day though. I don't have time for that right now. There we go. Not too bad. Let's get this bad boy back on and call it good with that. I guess I've never really gone over the car with you guys, so we can do that now. Super wide angle lens on here, I know. Yeah, she's a bone stock 2007 base model, no options really that I can think of. Came with both tops, but I don't know if it came with both tops from the factory or if the guy just had it. But yeah, 6-speed manual, base model. Throw you in there. In terms of interior, it's completely base, no heads-up display, nothing, just a powered driver's seat. I don't even think that's an option, but that's what she's got. LS2, T56, nothing too crazy, just how we like it, nice and simple. It's got a few, cosmetic flaws, whatever. The worst one is this door ding right here. Somebody hit that door, or with that door. Yeah. Somebody hit the fender with their door, so no bueno, but it is what it is. So yeah, there she be. I'll get some outside shots and put them right here.